Damn, it's 5:30.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your Fishers Game Day. It's week 6, and your Fishers Tigers take on the number 11 ranked Avon Orioles. And boy, do we have a good one today. Number ranked Tigers, like I said, against the Orioles. Aiden, what do you see from the weather today as you're a weather specialist?
Oh, yeah. I mean, sun's kind of beating down on us here in the studio right now. It's 76 degrees and sunny. Not much wind at all. You can see the kick team taking some practice kicks here in the background. Everything's looking fine. Sunny, a few clouds in the sky, but overall hotter than it feels. Tommy, what did you see from last week's games?
Yeah, so thanks, Aiden. Your Tigers suffered a devastating loss to the Brownsburg Bulldogs, the number 1 team in the state last year, or this year, 42-14. And the Orioles of Avon beat Franklin Central 35-10 last Friday. Now, Cash, this is our homecoming game. I think the gate's just open. You see these guys are starting to file in. Looking neon, but can you just confirm what's the theme tonight, and what do you expect from the students tonight?
Yeah, the theme tonight is neon. If you couldn't tell,
Sweet.
We are doing something kind of fun though. Each grade has a different color. So seniors are wearing pink neon. Yeah, juniors they're going with the regular green neon. Sophomores with orange, and I'm not positive what freshmen are.
Yellow.
Thank you, Aiden. And it's also homecoming week. I mean, homecoming's tomorrow. This is our homecoming game. That just brings nerves in. That makes things so much better, so much more nerve-wracking, as I said.
Yeah.
And I think these players are excited to play.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like as I was saying, these Tigers are hungry for some revenge. They lost 42-17 last week at Brownsburg. Not many bright spots to talk about from last game. It was kind of a all-around, not a great game. But one bright spot we saw was they only had 3 penalties, right, which is a huge improvement from our season low being 7 from the previous week. So something to look forward on, but also room for improvement.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we did see our defense seemingly get dominated, obviously they outplayed. They had a lot more plays, a lot more time of possession than we did. They only did have 150 passing yards through the air. Obviously, they did a lot of their damage on the ground. They also did throw an interception that game. Our defense was able to create a turnover off of one of those. So overall, not a bad performance at all from the pass defense in the secondary. Another great area that we saw, and an area of improvement actually, was our punt return coverage. We saw their punt returns not being quite as successful as the likes of the game like Noblesville, where our punt return defense did get torn up a little bit by the returners. We saw vast improvements in that category this week, and mostly kept them to short gains on those returns. And then overall, I mean, we didn't have any sacks. As much as the pass game wasn't able to get going, we were getting the ball out quick, so that was a good sign. We want to continue to get the ball out quick, especially with their physical defense. They're a good hitting defense. They get a lot of tackles, so definitely want to keep the ball getting out quick, just the way we did the last game.
And I mean, with how monumental and great this offense is, our defense is really going to need to take a step up. We just really couldn't wrap our hands around the players last week. We couldn't tackle anyone. It was pretty sad. I was watching. There were some missed tackles that led into touchdowns. I mean, those little things, they become bigger plays as it goes on. But if we want to flip sides of the ball, our offense as well, it wasn't really clicking on all sides around. I mean, pass wasn't really working. I felt like every pass kind of got broken up, or we were getting they had really good defense on us. In our run game, I mean, we were just stopped at the line of scrimmage. It felt like every single time there were no big runs. We didn't break off. And I mean, that's something that we really need to do this week against this Avon defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple guys I want to talk about, as we didn't see much bright spots as like we would see, there was a couple we want to point out, one of those being our wide receiver, number 11, Vincent Rosie. Even though on that passing game it wasn't clicking, he still had a touchdown and 95 receiving yards, which is something you love to see, especially week in, week out from number 11, Vincent Rosie. He's definitely one of the greater receivers in the state right now. And then, number 10, Gage Sturgill, like we said, he struggled. He still found his guy Vincent, though, for a touchdown. As in every high school football game he's played in, he's thrown a touchdown through his junior year before he got hurt and so far right now. And this season he still has no interception, so that TD to INT ratio is something you like to see a lot out of your starting quarterback.
Right there.
Yeah.
I want to add a few other things about Vincent Rosie. He did actually have a potential big play that got not called back, but there was a flag thrown, a ball that he likely would have caught and had a chance to walk into the end zone if the defensive back couldn't make the tackle, but got bailed out with the penalty there. And then obviously he had another deep ball, a really good throw, one that he had right on the numbers. Defensive back just made a really good play. Overall, a really bright spot from a lackluster offensive performance, something that we really want to see continue going forward this week.
No, absolutely, Aiden. And flipping to the other side of the ball, bright spot there, number 8, Jackson Andrews, safety, added on 6 tackles with 2 pass breakups, so hope he can continue that success tonight. Diving into Avon's record and their season so far, dominating win against Franklin Central last week, 35-10, like I said earlier, and a very close loss to the number one team in the state, Brownsburg, 55-47. That was back in week 4. This team is definitely somebody to overlook. A homecoming game, they're going to want to come in here and spoil it. Going to have to be ready to go, take care of business for tonight.
And I mean, definitely with 2 weeks ago, them dropping 47 on a team that we couldn't get 10 points against. I just think that our defense, I mean, they're an offense, that averages 430 yards a game. The national average is 300 yards. That offense is just something that we cannot overlook this game. Our defense, that's a point of emphasis. We really, really need to keep things on straps. Their offense is very balanced. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. I mean, there's not much that we're going to be looking to take advantage of on that offense. They're just a very complete, well-rounded team.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about some of the run and gun aspects of their offense, and obviously we mentioned they let up 55 points against Brownsburg, but I mean, that's not really something to overlook the defense about. We're talking about a very, very solid, very physical defense, a very good tackling defense. I believe they have 3 or 4 players over 10 tackles a game averaging, and they have 1 player that's averaging over 14 tackles a game. So obviously physicality is really a strong suit in their defense, but also up front, their lines, they have a very big line, and they play physical ball. I mean, they get a really good push both for their run game. Obviously, they had a running back go for over 300 yards, but also for their pass game. So, I mean, physicality is definitely something that these Orioles bring to the game tonight.
Yeah, some of the guys I want to talk about that O-line is blocking for. Obviously, their quarterback, Jace Cameron, number 11. He can sling it. He's a phenomenal quarterback. He's averaging 195 yards on the air and then 2 passing touchdowns a game. But he's not necessarily a run-first quarterback, which is kind of something you like to see when you're Tigers, because they've struggled against the running quarterbacks. But he will run if he has to. He definitely is mobile, but he likes to stay in that pocket and kind of just find his guys out there. And then the guy he's dumping the ball off to, like you said, Andre Warfield, number 24. This guy, I mean, he can change a game against Brownsburg.
Yeah.
I think he was the only reason they kept that game close. He had 300+ yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns that game. He's a wrecking ball back there, and he's someone we got to look forward to stop to.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a team that we couldn't get like 30 rushing yards against.
We had 43 rushing yards against
43.
Brownsburg, and he himself had 300.
Yeah.
And that's not to discredit Ryan. I mean, he is phenomenal running back, one of the best in the state. But Cash, let me hear about their receiver.
They have number 1, Sean Curry. He averages 92 receiving yards a game. On top of that, a touchdown. But the thing is, he's not just a receiver. He is a phenomenal kick returner / punt returner, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And I mean, that's just something, especially with what Aiden was talking about, how our punt return team hasn't been that phenomenal. We need really to emphasize focusing on tackling him and getting him to the ground, especially with not being able to tackle last week. He's a very mobile, very agile, very what's the word?
Very dynamic.
Shifty. I was looking for shifty. Very shifty receiver that we're going to need to stop.
I was just wondering, is there any relation to Stephen Curry there? Or
I could actually check because, as you know, I am very, very close friends with Curry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could text him and I could get that for you, get that information for you. I am pretty sure, though, that he is cousins with Cavante Turpin. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That would be a
With
good
the Dallas
comparison.
Cowboys?
Yeah, with number 9. Yeah.
I like that.
Let's flip sides to the ball. Number 5, Makai Hines. He averages 14 tackles a game as well as 2 tackles for loss a game. I mean, that's some pretty phenomenal stats right there. And he's been starting since he was a freshman. He's a junior now. So they still have 1 more year with him. This is going to be a really big test for our offensive line, I think. This is one of the biggest and best defensive players that we're going to play all season. If we can shut him out tonight, I think that there's no way we don't take this win.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of those other stars on that defense is their senior leader, number 2, TJ Stewart, defensive back for the Orioles. He's Division I commit, set to make his decision in the foreseeable future, but he unfortunately did suffer a broken foot against HSC in Week 3, so won't be able to see him tonight. Hope for a speedy recovery there. This defense is super athletic. but they have been they tend to allow some big plays, and it's definitely something that like we were saying with Vincent Rosie still having a good game, being a great receiver. I mean, definitely something that we can target. Those deep balls. They're a great second half team, and they don't give up. I mean, they're averaging 11 points in the fourth quarter, and to my knowledge, I still don't think we've scored more than 3 points in the fourth quarter.
No.
It was that game-winning field goal, week 2. So this team doesn't give up. We're going to definitely have to stay focused throughout all 4 quarters.
Yeah, I do want to add one. Sorry, Cash. I do want to add one thing. Other than that Brownsburg game, I believe that was the only game they let up more than 20 points. They do have a very stout defense that shouldn't be overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a very good squad. You got to look out for them. That Brownsburg game, I feel like whenever anyone plays Brownsburg, it's just an outlier to any other game because they're that good. I mean, there's a reason they're ranked top 20, 30 in national rankings.
27th, I believe.
Yeah, just wherever you look, you're going to see them on the chart somewhere. But I kind of want to break us down a little bit. The Tigers, with that big loss to Brownsburg, they dropped 3 spots in the state rankings. They went from number 5 to number 8. But I will say your Tigers have probably the toughest strength of schedule. I mean, you played Lawrence North, who was number 2 at the time, HSC, who is a solid squad, Carmel, who is looking like the Indiana powerhouse behind Brownsburg, and then, like I said, just Brownsburg. This is definitely a very tough schedule playing in this HCC, and then also scheduling yourself some tough matchups. But that's what you kind of want to see from your Tigers, as
absolutely.
they're preparing themselves for playoff football in October and November when you see all that.
Yeah, they're definitely battle-tested. Last week we only did see them record 175 yards. That's all-purpose of both pass game and run game. Their offense really never got going. We had that red zone stop on defense, 4th and goal. We were able to pick up the stop. Weren't even able to really get a first down, and really just continued to struggle from there. Offense never found its rhythm. Obviously, we talked about Ryan, where it's like not a lot he can do. He only got 14 yards on the ground, and the pass game was just not perfect and not clicking. But, I mean, credit to Brownsburg's defense, obviously, for holding us the way they did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple things we want to look at, from a locker room standpoint is we are battling a little bit of sickness here. The defense is what I heard is they've been a little bit banged up with a little bit of illness here. I think we're all good to go. I'm not sure, Tommy. Do we have any guys out in terms of illness?
No, I don't think. I think all the defense is good to go, but there has been, that sickness running around. The whole school, honestly, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But like I was saying in previous weeks, number 85, tight end Mason Cantwell, still out with that hand injury. I think he's supposed to make his return in this next week or 2 for sure. Number 34 linebacker Nolan Kuhn is out tonight. He's in practice, had a tore his bicep, so I think he's going to be out for the rest of the season, unfortunately. Definitely a big loss for your Tigers defense. But I'd look for number 27 Jordan Kinder to step up in Nolan's absence, and also number 51 Camden Funk, who's also playing right tackle, to see some more snaps on the defensive side of the football.
I just want to say, sorry about that, guys. That was number 5, Caden Myers. He came into the camera shot, wanted it. Yeah, I mean, he had an interception 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. Great guy right there. Jordan Kinder is starting, though, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure he
sir.
is starting.
Yeah, he
Camden
is
Funk
starting
will come
tonight.
in for some reps,
Yeah.
as you said. But I want to bring back to what Aiden was talking about earlier. Please don't take their defense lightly, though. Obviously, we're speaking about their offense the most like it's some crazy, amazing thing, and it is. But their defense on the other side of the ball, the numbers don't show, but they are very athletic, and they are solid all-around players. It's just that this is a defense that we don't want to be like, oh, we can go into this, we can win. This defense is amazing. We don't want to ignore that fact, and we want to take that point of emphasis. We are looking for a bounce-back week after losing last week. I mean, and that's something that we can do. We started the season losing week 1, and we went on a 3-game win streak. I mean, that shows the determination in these Tigers. And I mean, I just really don't see us losing. I want us to win this game, And especially, this is a home game, as we talked about. We've talked about this all year, how we were a road team, to say the least, last year. We won on the road. We were not as good at home. But this is the homecoming week. I mean, this is the homecoming game. If not Mudsock, this is the biggest game of the year. And I really think that this will be a very showing win. It'll show people to stop underestimating us after that Brownsburg week, and I'm ready to see our Tigers win.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to defend our home turf. But some of our production crew wants to show us is we have a video by Milo Skelton, one of our videographers here, and we have a couple recap from last week if we want to get them going on the TV. I hope you guys enjoyed that video there. I mean, amazing work by Milo there. But as you can see, we got a couple special guests joining us. We have our Tiger Cage leaders, Parker Kurtz and Jack Powell. So we have a couple questions for them, and then we want to get some predictions. So you want to hand them over your mic, Tommy?
Yeah, you take my mic. Sure. You guys share that.
We'll share this one.
Yeah. I wish we had a couple extra mics, but this we'll have to do. You know, I saw some things on the Indy Star. You know, I just kind of want to get your word on it. The Brownsburg coach, Josh Hart, phenomenal football coach, but does he know what he's talking about when he kind of dissed our Tiger Cage, saying that we had no business winning the banner and that Brownsburg has no competition, it's just them out there?
I think the proof is in the pudding. The banner's sitting right there for a reason. I mean, I don't see a banner on Tiger Cage's, on Brownsburg stands, so I mean, it kind of speaks for themselves. Tiger Cage, look at this, bro. Tiger Cage on top.
That's right.
He does not know what he's talking about. Saying that no other school deserves an award, insane statement.
Insane. Enough said.
Yeah. And you got a question for him?
Yeah, I want to ask. I mean, obviously we won the banner last year. What does it feel or how does it feel, I should say, to take over the reins to an extent with such a great crowd, such a great group? What does this mean to you guys?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I mean, coming in, there's obviously pressure. They won the banner, biggest thing that you can win as a student section, and then we have to take over and follow that path. But you know, I feel like we're doing an amazing job, and we were led well by what they did and what we saw last year, and we're just taking those, starting new traditions, and continuing the ones they made.
Yeah. Is there anything we will see tonight that's special, you know, from your Tiger Cage?
You'll have to wait and see.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
So, you know, with this being everybody, you know, it's all senior year, senior homecoming, last homecoming game we've got. From a student perspective, is there anything you guys want to, you know, leave all out there? Kind of almost, I don't know, in a way, make it like leave it all, everything out there, hope and push this team to get a win, you know, for everybody's homecoming, and have a great weekend, because you know this homecoming means a lot to each of the students.
Yeah, I think honestly we've been preparing all week, trying to make the game as fun as we can for the students. We know kids are going to show up to this game, homecoming game, one of the best themes in my opinion of the year. We got a huge crowd, a bunch of stuff planned for the game, so I think just the energy from the crowd is really going to bring the team to a win, honestly.
And I have a question over here.
Yeah. Well, little bounce off that.
Of course,
We're just gonna leave it all out there by just showing that energy, leaving the energy all out there, being as loud as we can, losing our voices tonight, boys.
Yeah, I love to hear that. So obviously you guys are Tiger Cage leaders, you guys are seniors, but I mean, some juniors next year will become Tiger Cage. What kind of like points of emphasis do you want to leave them with? What do you want them to kind of know going into Tiger Cage? What do you want a legacy kind of leave them with?
First off, something I'll say is that it's hard work. You have to put in the work, you have to put in the hours, and you have to be flexible with when you can work and how hard you have to work. So just a lot of hard work through that.
It's definitely a big commitment. It sounds like obviously all the juniors and everyone else just sees this, and they see the games, they show up to the games, see all the work that's already done for them, but nobody really sees the behind the scenes work that we do, the countless hours before and after school, and the meetings, twice a week meetings. Like, it's a bunch of commitment and a lot of work, so it is really cool to see all this. But for the upcoming juniors, you got to know, huge commitment.
Yeah, that to say, it is lots of fun.
Yeah.
Tons of fun. Absolutely.
I want to ask, obviously you kind of touched on that, like how a lot of underclassmen view like what's happening on the field or on the court as the most important. Like, what sort of role do you guys feel like you guys bring as the Tiger Cage to these events?
I think we bring the most important role. I think we are the leaders and the role models for all the students that come to watch. We are the point person. So if you're looking for someone to know what they're doing, know all the information, and know what's going on, someone's going to look to us. So we're kind of those role models at the front, always getting loud, always got the energy. And we're always staying organized for everybody and making sure everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah. I want to mention something, you know, by the off chance, if Brownsburg is watching this, you know, we still made our top 8 being on the road, but they obviously outshowed us just because how close they were. But if it was a home game for us and Brownsburg came here, I think we would outnumber them more than they did to us. I mean, for Josh Hart to say that, or John Hart, I keep calling him Josh, but if he were to say that, I think he came here, I don't think he would be saying that for sure.
I think we showed them up and we were on the road because they heard our chants. We got in the top 8. We did what needed to be done. We left it all out there, hour away. Dude, top 8 on an hour away game, unheard of. But the Tiger Cage, we strike again.
Anything else from you guys?
I'm all
Cash,
good.
Cam?
I think it's time to get some predictions.
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I mean?
100%,
Guys, so
yeah.
want to start us off, Cash?
You know I'd love to start us off.
Start us off.
So, I mean, let's just take a point. This is going to be a really great game. I think there's no way this isn't a high-scoring game with this Avon offense. It's dropping 44 2 weeks ago, and then also dropping, how much did they have last weekend? It was her 30s, right?
35.
I mean, I know this is going to be a high-scoring game. It's really going to be a test for this Fishers defense. But we've talked about this before. We've talked to the defensive locker rooms. Stuff has changed. These DBs, they're out there. They're hungry, to say the least. And I don't see Avon winning this game. I'm going to take your Tigers 41-34. I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight out there tonight.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I also think it's going to be a high-scoring affair tonight. You know, I mean, two powerhouse offenses going at it. But obviously, I got to take your Tigers on top. I mean, revenge, when they lost week 1, they came back better than we've ever seen them, beating a very, very talented Lawrence North team. So I think your Tigers win 35-20 tonight.
I like that. I'm going to go on the other side of this and go, it's a defensive fight, boys. I'm going to go lower scoring game. I'm thinking around 14-10 Tigers.
Okay.
Low but close.
Yeah.
I think, Gage is coming off playing one of the best defenses they got. Probably they're going to face the whole year. He's ready. He is ready to strike right now. You can just see him on this field. I know you guys can't see him, but we're watching him right now warm up. He is ready to score. I'm going to go Tigers 35-24. I think they're going to take it by at least a touchdown or two, but high-scoring game for sure.
Yeah.
Great pick. I think revenge is on the minds of all these players. They kind of took a beat down last week, and I don't think they're okay with that. And I think they're going to come out tonight. They're going to play like they weren't okay with that. They're going to come back. They're going to come out with some confidence and determination. I think I'm going to agree with you, Jack. It's going to be a lower scoring affair than what you guys had said, but maybe not that low. I'll go 24-17 with your Tigers taking a much-needed victory on a great homecoming weekend.
Close us out, Aiden.
Yeah, I mean, I talked in week 2 about the hunger and the determination after that tough loss to Carmel. But I think we could see a similar pattern continue tonight, obviously, with the trend being you lose to a very premier team in the state and then bounce back and have a really impressive outing. I think that could continue tonight. I like your Tigers 24-21.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. Well, we want to thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate your time. And
Keep
go
these
Tigers.
students hyped.
That's right.
Yeah. And fans at home, if you want to give any comments about what you want to see, any special guests, any activities you want to see, we would love to have the recommendations and the suggestions.
Please let us know.
But thank you for watching.